Tonight on Team Voodoo Adventures, we're exploring more of the Atchafalaya Basin, and not only the incredible wonders it holds, but the industries that have come because of it. Then we're heading out to the Louisiana coastline for some tasty saltwater fishing, and a few do's and don'ts of traveling the coast as well.
It's shallow, y'all.
All that and more, tonight.
Welcome back to the Atchafalaya Basin. Once you get a taste for the swamp, it's hard not to dive headfirst into these murky waters and explore all the different creatures that inhabit this area. That's exactly what we're doing today. And we're specifically talking about the aquatic wildlife that swims these stagnant waters year-round. It's no mystery that the swamp can literally churn with wildlife here in South Louisiana. The sheer size and biodiversity makes it the most dynamic swamp in the United States. Atchafalaya supports half of America's migratory fowl, more than 270 bird species, including egrets, spoonbills, osprey, and the highest nesting concentration of the bald eagle in South Central United States. Its waterways are home to nearly 100 species of fish and 65 species of reptiles and amphibians, including thousands of American alligators. Louisiana is by far the largest producer of crawfish in the United States. Experts estimate that Louisiana accounts for 90 to 95% of all total U.S. production from year to year. It's no surprise that the majority of that is consumed right here in Louisiana. More than 800 commercial fishermen harvest crawfish from the Atchafalaya Basin. The industry employs about 7,000 people directly or indirectly and injects $300 million into the state's economy each year. Crawfish farming is a major industry in Louisiana too. with Louisiana commercial crawfish farmers providing 85% of domestically produced crawfish to Louisiana markets and across the nation. What's so amazing about crawfish farming is that most farmers benefit threefold from the same land they harvest crawfish from. The summer months are best for harvesting crawfish. The landowners who raise crawfish usually plant rice in the same ponds and harvest during the fall seasons as well. But there's another benefit to having this setup, and that's harvesting bullfrogs. Except for April and May, you can harvest bullfrogs 5 inches in length and longer year-round. And along with ball crawfish, fried frog legs are yet another delicacy of the Cajun country. With a little more difficulty, some people catch bullfrogs in the basin as well, but always make sure you head into the swamp at night very well equipped. Because at night in the swamp is when another prehistoric species of these waters come out to feed. Gators. And that's what's had me captivated since I was a kid. This is the closest thing to seeing dinosaurs in real life. Wildlife and Fisheries, along with gator hunters like myself, make sure every year that only a certain number of gators is harvested, ensuring that the population maintains a healthy number each year, and local residents who live in the swamp can live and sleep well at night. Now, as an alligator hunter, snagging a 10-foot plus beast on either a bait trap or with a treble hook is a major cause for celebration, as the average maximum length is around 10 foot long. There's a huge difference between a 10-foot gator and a 12-foot monster. Around 10 foot long is when a gator begins to put on more weight than length. One year, on one of my bait lines, I had the fortune of snagging the third longest caught on record in Louisiana. We nicknamed him Tatai.
Oh, what? He's off. Oh my!
That's what I'm talking about.
That his foot is bigger than your hand. All right, that's mostly, probably nerves.
13 feet 1 inch and well over 700 pounds.
Watch your hands. Oh, don't drink water. Don't drink water.
This monster was the biggest alligator I've ever caught. And now, Tatai is a permanent resident of the Mequet household. Now, outside of all the reptilian and crustaceous life in and around the basin, fishing is a major part of life in Sportsman's Paradise. Fishing along Louisiana's Gulf Coast can yield a variety of catches, as the waters which flow from the freshwater lakes and streams often connect to the saltwater in the Gulf of Mexico. This type of brackish water offers unique opportunities to target both freshwater fish and saltwater species. As you'll see coming up after the break, we'll bring you on a tour of some of the most delicious fresh and saltwater fish you can shake a stick at. All that and more next.
What Protec is we've got a special material that we use to encapsulate guns, ammunition, antiques. What we're going to do is take this material, build a bag out of it, insert the gun or the ammunition, whatever it is, and we're going to purge down, getting the inside environment down to about single digits in humidity, and the oxygen levels from everywhere in the world is about 21% down to about below 1%. Well, that's going to keep any metals, ferrous items from corrosion, rusting. So they can store them, bring them to us. This is a reusable material as well. So we can package their guns, come hunting season, cut it open, pull the gun out, use it, bring the bag back to us, and we'll repackage it for them. For you hunters, you duck hunters, you guides out there, you're leaving ammo in the blinds, and you come back the next day or a week later, and you find that the box is wet and the shells are falling all over. We can pre-package. You can leave it in. You got 5 blinds, you go and leave a couple boxes in each blind. They're there when the hunters need them. You can come back next year and it's still good.
Y'all go ahead and look it up at
ProtectDefender.com.
So you guys have recently started dating?
Yes. A little less than a month.
Coming up on 2 months now, yeah.
Cool. I want to show you guys these 3 Chevy SUVs. The first one is called the Trax.
Beautiful.
Do you think it would be good for moving in together?
Moving in together?
Okay. Well, this is the Chevy Equinox.
Wow. Nice.
Perfect for when you 2 have your first kid.
Give me some time.
Okay. This is the Traverse for when you have your 5 kids, 2 dogs, and 1 cat.
Oh.
5?
Well, no matter what stage of life you're in, Chevy has an SUV for you.
We have it all planned out, thanks.
Artco Equipment is proud to be a sponsor of Team Voodoo. And to all you Voodooites out there, we want to offer a special deal. 5% above cost on any UTV, any tractor, or any trailer. And that's only for you guys, the ones who are outdoors, just like Artco. The team here at Artco Equipment is proud to be a sponsor of Team Voodoo. And remember, when the only road is no road, it's Team Voodoo and Artco Equipment.
Swimming in these black waters is a multitude of freshwater fish that are all pretty darn delicious when you cook them like a Cajun. Largemouth bass can be found here, along with brim and tons of catfish, which is definitely a local favorite. Here in the swamps of the Atchafalaya, one of our favorite fish species to catch is sac-a-lait, also known as black or white crappie. The term sac-a-lait, translated from French, is sack of milk. And that's because this fish is absolutely delicious to eat. Fried, grilled, or even poached, ground, and formed into a crappie cake are just a few of the ways to prepare these little guys. But for me, when it comes to fishing, there's no better way to spend a morning or afternoon than camping out on some brush piles and points in the basin. It's an awesome pastime to bring out the family too, and start showing the kids the wonders of nature that exists around them.
Drop them back in.
Navigating the coastal marshes of South Louisiana, you'll find a huge diversity of saltwater fish.
Got that beautiful coloration. Little red dot.
Speckled trout,
It looks like something that tried to attack you.
redfish,
25 pounds.
sheep's head, black drum, and even alligator gar are sought-after species. There's also a variety of ways to catch these fish. Jug lines for gar, bow hunting at night for reds,
Got him! Got him! Yeah, baby! You got four spots on it. Oh, it feels good when you finally connect with one. Get there! Got him, baby!
sight fishing from a tower during the day for reds, and standard casting with the rod and reel. Here's one of our favorite adventures, fishing for specks and reds out of Vermilion Bay.
Just a little ways down from the Southwest Pass, fishing a reef right now. I got Zach Dubois with Cajun Lures, and I got Captain Scott with us today. Cool little story about me and Scott. Hurricane Harvey had just finished passing, and me and Scott met through a bunch of rescue missions out there, and we got to talking, and I told him who I was, and he told me who he was, and said that he was gonna take us fishing one day. Well, today's that day. Right now, we're trying to catch some specks. Maybe a little bit later on, we'll go try to catch a couple reds. Y'all stay tuned. I promise it's gonna be some good action. Hey, we picking up, y'all. I wanted to catch at least one sand trout.
Going to plan B. Hopefully we don't have to go to plan C. Scott says take us to the promised land.
Hey, baby. You gotta realize, just like God's journey, it's a journey. You know?
That's right. It's not about how you get. No.
Let me fish top water real quick.
It's not about. Wait. It's not about how you. It's not about the destination. It's how you get there.
Living the dream. About 13 foot of water out here in the Gulf of Mexico, in a place they call 4 Piers. But there's only 3 of them, you see? And there it goes again, interrupting me. Scott said we're gonna give this a try for about 30 minutes. Give these Cajun lures a test. Might catch a couple grouper, a couple gaff top, maybe some big old salamanders.
I'll be tickled pink if you catch a grouper right here.
Right there. It's a pretty trout. This is actually the biggest trout I've ever caught in my life because I'm not a trout fisherman. Yeah.
We don't bring these on the boat. They seem a little slimy.
Alright. Oh, now I'm gonna throw it. Trolling motor, my rod, the seasickness, the wind, the waves, the gaff top. See, you take that gaff top on, you put that in your roux, and you cooking down your gumbo, and it gives it that extra little payao.
What's your plan C, Scott? Guys, we've been trying a couple different locations already, trying to find some specks, but it looks like the 2 hurricanes that just passed really messed up everything. Scott's extremely confident that we're gonna go whip up on some reds. So we'll be packing up in a moment. Bait's here.
where the footage ended. The area we were headed to was a little shallower than Scott expected.
It's shallow, y'all. Yeah, like really shallow. Yeah. Fishing log, day 1. We're stranded out here. We have nothing to eat but raw fish.
After exhausting the motor and rocking the boat for a few hours, our options were dwindling.
Day 2, being stranded out here. Zach lost all energy.
Dying slowly.
He can barely stand.
So we did what we had to do and stripped down to our caissons and pushed the boat back into floatable water. And that's a lot of the reason we added adventures to the title of the show. Ultimately, we had a blast and caught some good fish. We've had a ton of adventures here in the salty, brackish waters of the coast. Way more than we could tell in just one episode. So tune in again next week as we continue our crazy stories from right here in South Louisiana. I'm your host, Jude Mequet, and this has been Team Voodoo Adventures.
Just like an